This is Louise for MMA Crazy, and we're here with Rory MacDonald. Now, Rory, you're here in Dublin. First of all, how are you finding it here?
It's a really nice city. I've liked it a lot so far. I mean, I've been kind of bouncing around doing the guest fighter thing, so I haven't really got to go out and explore, but it seems like a beautiful town.
And obviously you're here to support your TriStar teammates. What did you think, first of all, of obviously Duffy? We've had to lose that main event.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, you know. These kind of things happen in our sport, you know. It's sad that it happened right at the end of training camp. And I know he wants to fight. I know Joe, and I've talked to him since then. He still wants to fight. He wants to get in there, but the medical suspension they put on him because of the test results, you know, he's not able to. They're not going to let him. So if it was up to him, he'd be in there on Saturday.
How has that affected him mentally then?
I'm sure he's depressed. You know, he's sad, but that's what happens in this game, man. There's sometimes that it feels like you're in in a low, but sometimes that can propel you and give you new opportunities, you know. So that's my advice to him, is just stay in the game, stay focused, you know, and things will come up. There's a brighter side to it.
What do you think the future holds for him then?
A bright future, you know. Joe's a great character, great martial artist, and I don't see anything but good things in his future.
And you've got another two teammates obviously on this card. You've got Stevie Ray and you've got Tom Breeze. What was the atmosphere like in TriStar on the run up to this event?
Yeah, it was very good. I mean, these guys that came over from Europe have been amazing in the gym. You know, they've brought a great attitude and a hard-working attitude. You know, they're in there. There's no bullshit. They come in. They work hard. You know, they have good humor. They're good people. So it's been a great fit. And you know, I really have high hopes for what they're going to do in their career. Tom Breeze is he's a fellow welterweight, and so me and him get a lot of work in together. And you know, I see a very bright future for Tom.
So I was going to say, what kind of part have you played in their training camp?
You know, I helped him as much as I can, but like leading up to this fight, I've been very injured from my last fight. So I haven't been able to spar and help them as much as I wanted to, but I've been in the gym and, you know, I've been around watching their sparring, doing what I can, you know, but, you know, they're professionals, they know what they're doing.
How do you think they're going to do this Saturday against their opponent?
I think they're both coming out victorious, yeah.
And another person that you've had in the gym recently is Sage Northcutt. What do you think of him, firstly as a character and then obviously as a fighter?
I think he's a great guy, you know. He's always got a smile on his face. He's a happy dude. You know, he's excited to learn new things, which is great as seeing a young guy. He doesn't think he knows it all or anything. He's not you know, he's not thinking he's something he's not. You know, he's a martial artist and he's happy to be around other fighters and learning and stuff like that. So, you know, when I see that with such a good talent, you know, he has the potential to go very far.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, what do you think the future holds for him?
I mean, I don't know, but you know, from what I've seen of him and what I got to see, I think he could go very far.
And will he be a permanent member of TriStar?
I have no idea. I think as far as all I know is he's going to come back for 3 weeks again in November. So yeah, that's all I know.
So is he going to do his training camp for his next fight?
I guess so, yeah, or part of it anyway.
And then GSP, obviously that's been floating around all of this week and last week. Do you think it's a possibility that he could make a return? I think he's eager to get back in there.
Yeah, that's what I've heard, you know, and he's got that in him, you know, where he's got that fighter spirit, right? So it's always going to be burning in his blood, and whether he decides to come back or he doesn't, you know, he's a very smart guy, and he'll make the right decision. You know, I think he's still recovering, and he's still getting back into training. You know, I don't know if he's got back to sparring quite yet, but you know, he's a very smart man. You know, he carried that top position for a ridiculous amount of time. So I mean, who am I to say if he should come back or not? I think he knows what's best.
And how do you think he would fare against Robbie Lawler?
I think he'd do great, you know, against anybody. I don't know if he'd be fighting for the titles or anything like that, but I think he'd be coming back more for like super fights. But I mean, again, I don't know. I'm just taking a guess.
And would you like to see that return?
Yeah, of course. You know, if he wants it, and you know, if that's going to make him happy, all the power to him, man.
And then obviously with you with you being here, we can't obviously not ask you about your fight with Robbie Lawler back at 189. Looking back at that now, what are your emotions and your thoughts?
During the fight, yeah.
Kind of looking at. I mean, you must have watched it back, right?
Yeah, for sure. You know, it was a very tough fight. You know, I had to push through barriers that I didn't have to in past fights, so I got to discover a new side of myself in there. You know, I was pushed to my limit, and it was a great experience for me, and it's going to give me a lot of maturity going forward in my career. How to stay composed in hard situations later on in the you know, later on in the rounds, things like that.
So, how did you feel then after the fight in terms of your emotions? It was a big loss.
I was sad. You know, I was happy that it was such a great fight, but at the same time, I was sad that I was put away. You know, I didn't finish the fight. I didn't go out on my shield. You know, so it was tough for me. But I think that's what's giving me the feeling I have now. You know, I have like a fire inside. I want to get back. I want to smash someone's face. And I want to get back in top. You know, I want to show that I am a champion.
And then when can we next see you fight? With Hector Lombard has been going.
That's what I've been hearing too. I haven't got a contract, but you know, I'm happy to fight Hector and get that fight done whenever my nose and stuff is all healed up.
When do you think that would be roughly?
I've heard January, February, but then again, I don't know when my nose is going to be better. You know, until then, I don't know. I'm thinking February, January, yeah.
So how do you think you match up with Hector Lombard?
I think I match up great. I think it's going to be an exciting fight. I don't think it'll be an easy fight. I think it'll be a hard fight, and I'm ready for that. I'm ready for another war. You know, I want to go and I want to put someone away. And if it's him, then it's him.
Obviously some big fights coming up as well. We've got Carlos Condit facing Robbie Lawler. So what's your prediction for that?
I think it's a great fight. You know, I fought both of them. They both beat me, and you know, they both have a very strong fighting spirit. You know, a very strong will to win. And that just makes for a great fight, and I just hope the best man wins.
Would you ever consider going to middleweight, maybe somewhere in the future?
Yeah, I think I want to try to do it this year in 2016. Yeah, so hopefully.
Okay, because Weidman you've trained with before, right?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't be challenging for the title right away. I'd like to dabble around and, you know, mix up between welterweight and middleweight for a bit. But, you know, that's kind of the direction I want to go. Start mixing up the division a bit.
Where do you think you would sit? And is there any kind of?
I think I would do well at middleweight. To be honest, I think you know, they're bigger than me, but that doesn't really matter to me. I think I still go up there in the top 10, but who knows? There's only one way to find out.
So if that did come and you ended up kind of working your way up through that division, how do you think if it came down to it, you and Weidman would go?
I think it would be a very hard fight for me and him. I've trained in the past, and Chris is a beast. You know, he's a very strong individual with great technique, great athlete, hard puncher, hard striker all around, actually. So it would be a very physical fight, and it would push me mentally to a whole other level that I would have to get prepared for.
What's your prediction for him against Rockhold?
You know, I'm going to go for Chris. You know, I'm friends with Chris, and I've trained with him. So, you know, I'm pulling for Chris to come out on top. But Luke has been very impressive in his last fight, so, you know, it should be a good test.
And then quick prediction for some fights coming up. Obviously, Aldo versus Mcgregor. What's your prediction for that?
I've picked Mcgregor in the past, but again, I think it's a good fight for both of them. I think it's a tough one. Should be interesting.
And then Ronda Rousey versus Holly Holm.
I'll go with Ronda on that one.
Did you see their promo for that fight?
No.
Oh, you need to see it. Amazing promo.
Yeah, I don't really watch promos though. Yeah.
Well, watch that. It's like
yeah.
Okay. Cool. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out, and we hope you enjoy the rest of Dublin. Thank you very much. Thank you.